How's it going, everyone? The PlayStation Plus monthly catalog for PS Plus Extra has been revealed, and I'm sorry to say, we got a little bit of a problem. I know that this isn't going to be highlighted by a lot of people. I know that on the surface, the Plus lineup looks pretty decent, all things considered. When you got some day one launch titles, games coming out day one on Plus, I should say, when you've got a very notable game as the headlining game, okay, maybe that gives you the illusion that this is a great month, and you know what, your prerogative to assess this as a great month. But when you look a little deeper, and when I say look a little deeper, it's not like we're doing rocket science over here, but it's still something to talk about when it comes to Plus, and that is the fact that the number of games getting added to PS Plus every month has been getting lower and lower, and this is by far the least amount of additions we've ever gotten in a Plus Extra catalog, and this is what Sony does. This is what a lot of people don't pick up on, and this isn't just Sony, to be fair, but subscription services in general, prices go up and they will be very sly about it, but slowly you will see the value proposition go down. Keep an eye on the games every month leaving the service versus the games getting added to the service. Keep an eye on the quantity of the games getting added to the service. Over time, when all of this just keeps snowballing and snowballing and snowballing, suddenly you end up with a month where you only get 6 game additions on PS Plus Extra. In the past, you were getting 8, 10, 12 game additions. Now we are down to 6, which, what's it gonna be? In a couple of months from now, are we gonna be down to 4? Now, yes, you do have some day one titles that are coming. However, still, I would say this is a bad month. And let's just go over the lineup. Hogwarts Legacy, obviously, that's a great addition. Hogwarts Legacy is great. Came out 2 years ago, and it has been getting cheaper and cheaper, but I would say that's a great headlining game. On top of that, you do have Blueprint. And to be fair, Blueprint is the highest rated game of 2025 so far. It's got like a 91 or 92 on Metacritic, but two things can be true. I think a lot of people are going to be like, you know, you're getting the highest rated game of 2025 on this Plus Extra catalog lineup, and yet you're still complaining. I'm not complaining about that. I'm complaining about the quantity of games. And then you have Lost Records Bloom and Rage, which I know a lot of you guys aren't interested in, but it is a day one title, so take that for what you will. And then you fall off a cliff. EA Sports PGA Tour, Battlefield 1, and Plate Up. Those are your 6 games, and again, it's the lack of depth in terms of the game lineup, and I've been saying this recently, where I've been pointing out the fact that, hey, it feels like the game lineups are getting smaller and smaller, and then all of a sudden we're down to 6 games, and I don't see that many people bringing this up. You know, maybe the discourse is there, but this is something certainly that people should be talking about. The fact that we are down to 6 games getting added every month, and yes, we do have some PS Plus Essential, or excuse me, PS Plus Premium games getting added as well, with Alone in the Dark 2 and War of the Monsters. That's great and all, but 6 games? Let's go to last month. Let's go to last month's offerings and see how many games we had. Plus catalog update for March. If my browser would load here. Okay, so we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. 8 games in the month of March. Now we're down to 6, and I would argue last month with the inclusion of UFC 5, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, you know, not super heavy hitters, and you could say that, yo, you rank Hogwarts Legacy above UFC 5 and Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. That's fair enough, but you did have 8 games versus 6 here. Lost Records Bloom and Rage is a continuation. It's like episode 2 of the series that's been ongoing. Every episode's gonna be day 1. And Blueprints, again, that is their saving grace in the sense that that is literally the highest rated game of 2025. But don't be surprised if this month only had 6 game offerings. What's next month gonna have? Is that month gonna be 6 games as well? You're not gonna have a day 1 highest rated game of 2025 every month. Like, that's just not gonna happen. And let us go over to the games leaving the service. You had Animal Well, Tales of Kinzera Zao, Nor Play With Your Food, Deliver Us Mars, Miasma Chronicles, Stray Blade, Kenna Bridge of Spirits, Slay the Spire, and Disco Elysium: The Final Cut. Honestly, side by side, I look at these lineups of games leaving the service versus added to the service. I would go with the games leaving the service. Like, they have more value here with Disco Elysium, Kenna, Animal Well as well was incredibly well received. Those 3 games, Miasma Chronicles was decent. It's the lack of depth here that is a very big issue, and the fact that we are already down to 6 games, I think, is alarming. This should be a little bit alarming, and most people are gonna say that, oh, I'm bugging out, but I've been pointing this out for a while that the lineups have been starting to lack depth, and now you're talking about we're down to 6 games being added, and how many games are leaving the service? Let us count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games are leaving PS Plus Extra. 6 games are being added to the service. Now, quantity isn't the only thing. Quality is obviously a factor, and the fact is Blueprints being a day 1 title, that's a lot of value, and that'll create the illusion of value, I feel. Hogwarts Legacy is a notable addition, okay? A lot of you guys already own it, but for the sake of argument, that is a notable addition, and that's where the issue comes with PlayStation Plus when you're talking about only 6 games being added. A lot of you guys are gonna own a game like Hogwarts Legacy, so you can eliminate that. When you have more games, you know, you have more opportunities. Okay, that game I might own, but that game I don't have. In the case of Blueprints, that's a game that everybody's gonna be able to play day 1, and I think Plus Extra is hard carried by that game this month, alongside Hogwarts Legacy, as that, you know, that's a good headlining game. A Hogwarts Legacy, games like that, games like Dying Light 2 that they added, games like Dead Island 2, those are good headlining games that give Plus Extra a lot of value. If you already own those games, you know, that's where the rest of the lineup hopefully adds a little bit of depth. And if at that point you just feel like the depth every month isn't there, well, it's your prerogative to cancel the service. But remember, a year and a half ago, however long it was, PlayStation Plus went up in price, and the thought process was it is to retain and increase the value of PlayStation Plus. That's what they always say when any subscription service goes up. Is that in reality what ultimately happens? No, it's just not. And in the case of PlayStation Plus, the price went up, and now you're seeing it even more so, and I feel like it's more pronounced this month, even with Blueprints in this lineup, that the value proposition is going down and down and down. And the fact is, now we've hit a threshold where 6 games being added. That is a reality, and that could happen in the future as well. And again, not every month are you gonna have a day 1 title that is a 91 on Metacritic. They kind of lucked out. Did they know going into, you know, signing a deal for Blueprints that it was gonna be a 91 on Metacritic? No, they did not. And I've never been under the illusion that that PS Plus Extra needs to be at the quality level of Xbox Game Pass, but there's a happy medium. When you're raising the price, and the value, pre-raising the price, mind you, was higher. There is no question, there is no doubt about it, that the value of PS Plus Extra, as far as games getting added every month, was higher pre-price increase than it is now post-price increase. And you look at it every month, and that's something I like to look at every month, and games getting added to the service versus games getting leaving the service. And I'm not saying every month the value has to be better on games getting added. That's just the reality of a subscription service. Games have to leave the service, or, you know, the deals expire and you don't want to renew the deals. That's fine. But I feel like every month, and more months than not, it has been the value of the games getting added is lesser than the games leaving the service. And why is that? That's because they don't want to sign as many deals. Adding 6 games to the lineup is a lot cheaper than adding 8 to 10 games to the lineup. Basic math, you guys. Basic math when it comes to that. I'm sure Hogwarts Legacy had to pay a pretty penny for that. You know, these day 1 games, maybe you gotta pay a pretty penny for that, but then you look at it after the top 3 games, and Lost Records, Bloom, and Rage, again, a lot of you guys aren't even going to be interested in that. EA Sports, PGA Tour, alright, fine, fair play to the sports guys out there. Battlefield 1 was 99 cents, you guys. It was literally like 99 cents recently. They're $1.99, like super, super cheap. And Plate Up, okay, dude, like, this is a bad month in terms of what it can reflect for future months as well. Blueprints, great, go play that. It's really, really well received. Go play Hogwarts Legacy if you haven't. But this could potentially be an omen of Plus Extra just going even more in the gutter than it already is. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, sound off there. Let me know. You think I'm freaking out a little bit too much? You guys let me know. But I think, you know, in the coming months, if we get, you know, 6 game lineups and we see 9 games leaving the service, that's a problem, you guys. That's a problem in terms of value for the consumer. But again, that'll do it for me. Your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.